So a lot of good things coming. So just for instance, Intel's under construction. That's $20 billion with a B in construction costs. 3,000 direct jobs, 20,000 jobs statewide, $2.8 billion in Ohio annual sales gross revenue, 7,000 construction jobs. It's massive growth for Licking County. That's just Intel. And when I saw this other stuff coming, I'm like, God, let me get this flex built. Let's start these apartments. Here we are, episode 4. My God.
Episode 4.
Started from the bottom. Man, lots happened since last episode. We've been working our asses off. We're building the brand, and he's building his brand. I'm building my brand. Together, we have a brand together as well.
Yes.
He's still working out in the field, and he's really building his bodybuilding / nutrition, all that kind of brand. And go ahead and touch a little bit on that, Bryan.
So the kind of brand that I'm building for myself is tailored around entrepreneurship, fitness, bodybuilding, nutrition, mindset. If you have the right mindset, you can do whatever you want. And
you can do anything.
Anything's about mindset. Every single thing that you do.
I'm a firm believer, and I'm a case because, man, out of college, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I learned a lot, and I've made it pretty far so far, but guess what? Not even close to where we're trying to go. So last time, we went through a bunch of different things. We talked about ground-up construction. We talked about part 1 of ground-up construction. So we may get to that at the end of this episode, so we'll see. But we just had some big news that we went to a meeting with the Planning Commission for Flex that we're trying to get approved. Been working on this for a long time. We are super, super excited about this project. Tons of equity, tons of cash flow, tons of appreciation. And probably the most exciting thing about the project was once we stayed and I presented and did a nice job presenting, just saying,
he closed the fucking deal.
Yeah, well, we got one more meeting to go, but the Planning Commission loved it. This office warehouse, we got a great concept and scheme. We have an office and a bathroom up front, 1152 square feet per space, and there's 10 spaces per building. Someone could take more, but 16-foot ceilings. So someone that needs a warehouse, but they have an office and a bathroom per space. And the Planning Commission loved it. But the most exciting thing about the meeting was at the end of the meeting that we almost didn't stay for. Steve Lehman was going to stay. Shout out, Steve. Thanks for going. That was big. Just having Steve, big-time real estate developer, big-time real estate broker, and done a lot for the communities on all these different boards.
Just a good person to have on your side.
A real good person to have on your side. So he went with us, helped us present, although he didn't really have to say much, but just having his presence there. But having him there, and he was like, well, let's stay for the end of the meeting. So we stayed, and I'm thinking, oh, man, this is going to be, we'll be here for a while. But guess what? It was good. Super exciting.
It was really good.
I couldn't believe all the stuff coming into Heath. Microsoft is coming into Hebron and Heath. It just so happens we just built storage in Hebron. Very good.
30,000 jobs. And as well as that, they're bringing almost like a little town to Hebron, like another little town.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it seemed like. Restaurants, like kind of like a little strip.
That's Heath. But
well, Hebron area, Heath too.
Yeah. Well, it's right next to Heath. But Microsoft bought 100 acres in Hebron, and I think 200 in Heath. And so big-time data centers going in there, and they're going to build others throughout Licking County. I mean, Licking County is getting ready to blow the
Intel. We got Microsoft, and it's a lot of shit.
So
a lot of new shit, a lot of developments.
Like we just talked about, there's this downtown district that's going in Heath. It's right behind Indian Mound Mall, which I love Indian Mound Mall. It's not what it used to be. Growing up, it was almost like Easton, and it was right there. It was freaking phenomenal. So I'm hoping that gets built back up because going behind there, it is super, super intense. We're talking about 1,800 homes, 244 more on Irving Whip, 100 apartments coming. That would be us. Are going to be building 100 apartments over there off Irving Whip, and that is just down from the high school. Couldn't be a better spot. And that's something we'll be doing later this year. And it's just super exciting because we got 70,000 square foot of office warehouse going in Heath. Great timing. We're trying to get this approved. I mean, it's going to be a great concept for the community. It's going to do well. It's what the community needs. The Planning Commission was excited. Bryan and I stayed after the meeting. We talked to the folks there and just got familiar with them and made friends with them. And yeah, we're really excited to go in and close the deal. Get that finalized, get our final submission for zoning, get that submitted to where we can get final approval. So in the meantime, we have to collaborate and come up with exterior elevations of what these flex buildings are going to look like. I got a real good idea of what they're going to look like. I joined that mastermind for flex, so I've seen a ton of different designs. We're going to come up with something nice, white and black scheme like we've been doing on these houses and a lot of different projects, white and black and gray possibly. We already have our footprints approved, so we can't go outside of our footprint with a porch or anything like that. So we have to stay within our footprint and come up with a good design, which we'll be able to do that. We got some pretty good designers, Perfect Air Gear and Ken.
I do remember what I was going to say.
So what's that?
Steve Lehman, that's a good example of your network is your net worth.
Network is your
Having
network.
him on his side, Gare's side, and just the company side, it's
huge.
It just helped a lot of shit.
It's huge. Not only that, but having Gare. And Gare is real busy with correctional work. Shout out Gare. And hasn't been able to be as involved. And that's fine because I'm kind of taking the torch and I'm leading that way for development and construction. But just being able to ask him questions and, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Just when we need to. And it was his idea to have Steve Lehman go. I'm not going to take credit for that. Perfect idea there.
Gare's pretty much an encyclopedia, pretty much.
He's a specimen, but, let's back up a second because there's one thing we forgot to talk about. That's the fit. You haven't seen this Nike Tech before because I have all the colors. So this is like a salmon and tan. I mean, this is popping off. You got the logo. The logo's strong. And we got the tan hat. I got about every color of these hats you can have. So you look good, you play good with the cement threes, with the jeans. So that's how we're repping today. He's in good shape, so he's showing off the guns over there with the LeBron jersey.
And, we got these swim trunks. I don't give a fuck about matching really right now, but kind of just do whatever I want because when you have confidence you can wear whatever you want, do whatever you want, and
that's how we're doing it.
Yeah,
the dress code's kind of changed since COVID. I don't really dress up too much anymore, although I did for that meeting. I told Bryan to dress up and we look good. We can still dress up. We'll dress up one of these days. We'll shock you guys, but yeah, so a lot of good things coming. So just for instance, Intel's under construction. That's $20 billion with the B and construction costs. 3,000 direct jobs, 20,000 jobs statewide, $2.8 billion in Ohio annual sales gross revenue, 7,000 construction jobs. It's massive growth for Licking County. That's just Intel. And when I saw this other stuff coming, I'm like, God, let me get this flex built. Let's start these apartments. So the flex could probably be about 10 million in construction costs, and the apartments probably another 10 to 15, I would say, because we're talking 100 units. We're talking 2 baths per unit. That's a lot of plumbing. It's going to cost a lot, but the goal is we may get investors on this one too. This might be the first one we syndicate,
first deal,
which we've been talking about a lot, so we can actually make some money on the construction instead of waiting until the very end to get cash flow, equity, appreciation, and depreciation. We might be able to share it with you all, and I know we won't have a problem getting investors, but this is still building the brand and putting it out there, just showing what we're doing, and it's going to be exciting. So that said, all that's coming. I mean, they even talked about West Main Street. There's supposed to be up to 300 more apartments coming. I think that's a little further down the road because they're going to have trouble getting that financed. It's not the best area. I would definitely rather be in our location on Mao. Ours is 24. I think they're actually scheduled for 100. They're trying to get 100 cleared because they talked to us about getting involved in that, and we didn't want to do that because our location, it's all about location. Location. So our location's going to be fantastic. I think we'll probably be able to get right up near 2,000 a month just for 2 bedrooms. We just did that in houses.
That you could do is, can you Airbnb this?
Yeah, so
that could be.
We will probably furnish a couple. So we've done this recently on a property. We were able to get 5,000 a month when it was furnished. That was pretty nice. So we're actually looking to do that in Heath. We have a crazy tenant that went off the AWOL, and getting him out. He'll be out September 1st. And then as soon as he's out, we're going to get that ready. We've had multiple people reach out. They've had house fires that need somewhere to stay. So their insurance is going to pay for them to stay somewhere. And so...
It's okay, Harry.
Yeah, it's okay, little Douglas. I'm trying to get this damn thing on here. Yeah, so anyway, we got this Airbnb scheme, and I think that's really going to do well. We're going to try that in Heath. We're going to get this guy out. So instead of $2,000 a month, which is pretty high rent around here, I got it recently on 2 houses, which we fixed up. They look like the Taj Mahal. White quartz, gray walls, white trim. The trim was that old oak color. You guys will see the pictures when you're watching this. It looks very good. So we're going to do that again, but instead of getting $2,000 a month, we're going to get $5,000 a month. That will be pretty good.
That's a big ass difference, and you're literally making your money back in the first month from furnishing it and doing all that stuff.
Right. So you have to furnish it, but that's fine because the furniture is probably roughly $3,000 or less. We've already started buying some of that. We're storing it. So as soon as they're out, we're going to go in there, get this unit ready, and get it furnished. furnished, get it fixed up, new countertops, paint the trim white, LVP everywhere except the bedrooms, new carpet, new light fixtures, new hardware, making it black. I mean, we're really going kind of overboard, but you got to keep your properties up to date, and we're going to get that money back. So if we're getting $5,000 a month, that's big, and hopefully we can get someone in there long term for like the whole year. So that'd be an extra $36,000 this year, and that's going to be nice. We'll just take that and pay down the mortgages. So these mortgages are supposed to be done. So we have about 15, 20 houses, something like that. They're going to be paid for 2029, 2030, but the plan is to start paying $100, $200, $300 each extra on each mortgage and get them paid down ASAP so we can have those paid, and then that'll be income.
And speaking of Airbnbs, one of my goals is to have my first one by 19. I'm 18 right now. I turn 19 in 22 days. Yeah, 19 years old. Pretty crazy. Feels weird. But yeah, so one of my goals is to have my first Airbnb by 19.
Right.
And how I'm going to do that is take out an FHA loan, 3.5% down, duplex, house hack. There you go. That is my kind of plan. Not kind of plan. That's my plan.
That's the plan. So it's going to be valuable to watch. You just watched us rent at Airbnb, for the month. And this next one, you're going to be involved with that process, help get it ready and help rent it, be involved with the listing so you're familiar with it. And then the next thing for you, if you're going to do that, you got to come up with money for the down payment. And so you're saving right now, right?
Yeah.
So how much you have? 12, including Bitcoin 17, including Bitcoin 17. So probably needs to have around 30. So with an FHA loan, you only need to have 3.5%, but still you need to have enough money down.
You just need to have some money on this.
Well, on the sidelines, you got to put enough money down so your mortgage is low enough so the rent is going to pay for it, and you get a cash flow.
Right.
You got a cash flow because when someone moves out, you're clean, and something happens over here, hot water breaks, and you're going to have extra money.
Got to have extra money for all the little things that people don't talk about on YouTube.
So that's exciting. And, so the office warehouse is coming. We're going to have that Airbnb. That's going to be exciting. Mouse Street, we had a problem with our sanitary. So EPA came out and said they're doing something new. If you're doing apartments, if you have 2 or more houses, you have to have some crazy document that's 20 pages long and sign bank information and affidavit and this, that, and the other, saying you're going to maintain your sewer. Well, we've always maintained our sewers on our project. I mean, it's kind of common sense. But anyway, went back and forth with the city. They weren't really sure because they'd never dealt with this, something brand new. So just got something back from the attorney from EPA today telling us exactly what we had to do. I'm probably going to call him tomorrow, clarify, try to get that done, and then get that submitted. We'll get our permit to install for Mouse Street. Once we have that, we can apply for our building department permits for construction. Our drawings are pretty much done. That's the good part. That'll be probably 2 to 3 to 4 weeks to get that, and then we'll sit down with the subs and make sure we have all our bids in order. We're going to get our team together for how we're going to build this and make sure all the contractors are qualified and they have everything covered, and then whatever they don't have covered, we have to have covered. Just make sure all the numbers line up. Then we sit down with the bank and we say, okay, here's what it's going to cost. Here's what we're putting into it. Here's what the rents are going to be. Here's what our management costs are, our operational costs are. Here's what the cash flow is going to be. Here's what our projections are long term for what we think it's going to do for appreciation, because in 10 years, these are going to be double, triple, maybe even quadruple with all
this shit coming in, dude.
So we just got to get these built, and it's going to be tight because everything's super expensive. This one is tight. Mouse Street apartments are tight. So anyone going out to build apartments right now, just be aware that things are outrageous and it's super hard to do. So we're going to do it. We're going to figure it out. We do have some money on the sidelines, which you always need to have. And if we have to put more money in to make it work, we will. And then we'll be able to get that back over the next few years. Not worried about it. The office warehouse, on the other hand, looking at those numbers, if I think we can do what I think we can do, if we can do it, big time equity, big time cash flow, and then big time appreciation. I mean, I'm super excited about that. If we can make that work like I think, we will go out and do those all over the place. Man, it's just a long haul. It's super hard to get this shit approved. God, it takes forever, but we're getting there. It took forever too because we had storage there first, so that took, that's 3, 4, 5 months. We had to submit, did a sketch plan review. We did basically what we've already done with storage, and then Schoenberger built some down the street. We talked about this before, and we changed our mind, which I'm happy because I think this is going to be even better. So
I also think that.
Okay, and let's talk about
3 different storage complexes.
So once COVID hit, storage just went bonkers. You could raise the rates forever. It didn't matter. You stayed full. I'm like, what the hell? It's business is great. This is awesome. So I'm like, let's do some more. I mean, Jesus, you can keep raising the rates every year. It's like freaking gold mine. Well, the bubble kind of burst, and it's still good. We're 94% Heath, but I don't want to build 500 more units in Heath and take away from our business. And no, we don't want to do that. So there's no one doing office warehouse flex like what we're talking about in town. Not that I'm aware of, and no one's charging enough rent either. I mean, we're going to try to get 14, 18 bucks a square foot. Over in Reynoldsburg, they're getting 1861 a square foot. They are full. It's not far out of Pataskala. It's not that far away from us. I think our town has a lot more going for it, honestly. By the time these are built and rented, I think we're going to be in good shape. If I can get those and, these numbers check out like I think, we're talking big time cash flow, appreciation, and equity, which we'll get into that. We'll get into that because I know you guys want to learn about that and you want to know the facts. And then, we're eventually going to have groups, coaching, platforms, and investors as we blow through the roof and we go from 10 million net worth to 100 million. It's coming. So just wait. The flexing apartment's going to be big. These new apartments over in Heath are going to be big. Let's get a little bit into these other projects coming up. So we did stop by High Point and look at those lots. Those look doable. They're better than Brentwood, which is good because Brentwood falls off like a mother. And the foundation, the siding, everything's more. I'm hoping we can make some money on that because that one has a ceiling. We're only going to be able to sell for about $440. So I think we're still going to be okay. We're saving in some other areas, trying to make up for it. But definitely some things. I mean, the garage is so...
How much will you make from that if you sell for $440?
I have no idea. You don't know until the end. You won't know until 2, 3, 4 months after you build it because that's how long people send in invoices because they're behind. So we'll see. I think it'll do all right. But these two High Point houses are going to be similar lots, but I think they're better. They don't fall off quite as much. We're going to make those fucking sick because I've been seeing some houses around and I'm like, nope, we can do it better. So we're going to really put it on the line. We're going to make great designs and great curb appeal and then very, very nice on the inside. We may even go 10-foot ceilings and then we can do some vaulted ceilings as well. So those are going to sell in the million range up to maybe even 1.5. That is going to be legit. And then we have the Kirkersville flip. Brian's been working there.
Yeah, I actually just got done hanging drywall.
So he's learning. So in year, when he does whatever he's going to do, whether it's Airbnb or he's doing construction or he's, new construction, renovation, it all ties together. But when you hire a drywall guy and he's like, oh, it's going to take me 2 weeks to hang that. And you'd be like, nope, I've done it.
Yeah, we did almost the entire room, maybe even 2 rooms.
Right.
Not even like 4 hours.
With not many guys. So.
And honestly, you could just do it with 2.
Yeah. Ben is a beast. He's done it for years. He knows what the hell he's doing. But
Ben is one of the 2 guys, Ben and Darren,
shout out.
Father-son duo, killer duo. They can do it.
Animal.
You ask.
Great guys.
They have both taught me tons of shit I would never even thought I would ever know.
Right.
Like, I know how to hang drywall. I know how to do shoe molding. I know how to paint now. I know how to do trim. I know how to...
Darren's the best painter I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's on our staff.
And he can do everything. They can both do everything.
They can do everything, which really helps, So
we call it Ben Skippy.
Skippy. Shout out Skip. And call Darren Buzzy. Shout out Buzz.
Shout out Buzz. He's on vacation this week.
So yeah, he's on vacation. Yeah, he's having some fun and that's fine. Good for him. But so like you said, we're hanging drywall. Next would be trim. And I actually had to sub out painting and trim over in Brentwood because we have too much going on. So we got to look through that, but we're going to be doing
really a bad problem.
Trim, paint, flooring. We still got to deal with some trees. Got trees growing up through the damn garage. We've done videos on that. It's literally pushing up on the block wall. There's a guy that thinks he can do it. I got to verify if he's legit. So we'll work on that this week. And then, we got to work on the yard there. Like I said, I think we said flooring. Yep, flooring. We're going to paint the cabinets. That place is going to look like $1 million when we're done. And it looked like a big piece of shit before.
Yeah, it looked like a big piece of dog shit.
Yeah, dog shit. So that's going to look good. We already have the metal roof on. It's looking 1,000 times better already. Long way to go. But that bedroom with that little mural, which we don't need to get into, that looks like a complete different room already because it's new drywall. Yeah. So we're excited. Put a new bathroom on the second floor. I mean, that is really coming along. Brentwood, we just talked about that. Paint, I got a painter in there right now. We're subbing that out. We're going to be doing trim next. Flooring. Got the plumbing, mechanical, electrical to finish. We have grading. I'm not going to bring in all this topsoil and dirt in this yard because it's an acre. I'm not topsoiling the whole thing. I'm just going to do what's necessary around the house. Bring a little bit of dirt in.
Do with the flip and this one, the budget and all that shit.
So bring some dirt in and we'll make it look good, but I'm not going to go crazy because that's just taking money out of your pocket. But it'll look good when it's done. That's going to be a beautiful setting. I mean, we were out there that day. That setting is, it's legit.
It's pretty sweet. Back to my Airbnb thing. So I was thinking like, shit, I need to make a little bit more money to be able to do what I want to do. So I went out and, just looking for different jobs and shit. So I got to fucking hustle and have more money on the side. So I am getting this job at Maximum Fitness. Beautiful gym right next to my house, probably like 2 or 3 minute drive. So that'll be 60 hours a week when I'm doing full-time both. Yeah, that'll be my income, and hopefully I can figure out something else too. But those are my two main things right now. And then obviously my main focus is building my personal brand and
personal
all that
brand,
stuff.
which,
Because that's literally an appreciating asset, your personal brand.
It's all about personal brand. And we've both been working on that, and we're both making progress. Bryan met a guy who's been helping him. He had a call the other day at the lake. I just started listening. I'm like, maybe this guy can help me. Well, sure enough, he did. I sent him some videos. He put some things together. He told me some things to write. I kind of tweaked it. Shout out Aiden. And might be working with you. He's going to send us some info later on pricing on our personal brand and posting and just helping the whole thing. So he has like 17,000 followers. I only have 5,000.
He's also big in lifting, nutrition, training.
So he's also knowledgeable about
real estate, entrepreneurship.
Yeah, the whole brand. So, and I'm like, hey man, I know real estate, I know companies, and let's help each other. So we'll see where that goes.
He got his first duplex at 20.
Yeah,
which is cool.
And he helped me do a post yesterday. TikTok, 4,700 views. That was big. My highest before that was 1,000, and it was just like some generic one. I wasn't even in it.
Just one.
Yeah, it's just one. So did another one today. I did it. It wasn't nearly as good, but same kind of concept. So I think that's going to do pretty good. And both of us are making progress on our brand, and that's going great. And this podcast obviously is going to help. We're going to start having guests on. So before we get to the guests, we're going to do 2 duplexes at the lake. Those are going to be ridiculous. That lake is the best location on the lake. Our location at North Shore Landing. Commercial pool. It's right off 70 and 79. You don't have to drive all the way around the lake to get to it. I mean, you're right there. And so we got 2 lots right next to Mr. Ed's house. Shout out Mr. Ed. And 2 duplexes right there. They're going to be sick. And those would probably go for in the 600 range, I'm thinking. They're not on the water, but it's right there in our development. You use the community pool.
The development is sick.
It's the best development on the lake. So those are in the 1,800 square feet range, 2 bed, 2 full bath, and they will be decked out. They will be sick.
And so, speaking of the lake, I know someone that mom was telling me about this. She bought a house 2 years ago at Buckeye Lake on the water, I'm pretty sure for $300,000, and she just sold it recently for $750,000.
Yeah.
By doing nothing. The appreciation and Buckeye Lake and everything come into the area.
Yep.
That just shows you like, damn.
Yeah. All right. So
get into the fucking game.
Yep. Get in the fucking game. That's what we're talking about. We're trying to get in the game. I want to get this office warehouse and these apartments and Mount Street apartments built, and then get in some other projects because it's blowing up around here. The quicker you can get them built, the quicker the values are going to go up. The more money you can make with cash flow, appreciation, depreciation. Not forget depreciation. That's a big one too to save on taxes. So let's talk about the guests coming up because we're going to be cutting it short here. So of course we got Bill Lewis, Mr. Ed, and Schottenstein, who just so happens the basketball stadium's named after him. So that family is a legacy, and I'd like to have them on separate because they both have a great story and really pick their brains about success, business, entrepreneurship, a brand. I mean, they both have their own brand. I ran into the Dank House owners the other day. They want to come on. That's a great story. They have a great brand, and they're trying to expand. And so, just networking and doing that. We're going to have the podcast people that had us on their original podcast, L&K. So that's Kyle Libby and Luke Kellett. They're the podcast creators, and we were on their podcast. They're another Licking County, Newark area entrepreneurs that have a podcast, and we're going to have them on our podcast because they've been doing a podcast for years. So it'll be good to pick their brain about what they're doing now, how that podcast is going, where they're trying to take that podcast, and then you got Perfect Terry Gare. Can't get better than that. We just got to pry him away from his work because he is freaking slammed. I mean, we all are, but he'll be great. I mean, I've learned obviously the most from anyone from him. I mean, he is a legend, and I couldn't ask for a better mentor as a dad, and just proud to be in this situation and learn from him. Mackenzie. So Mackenzie's a loan officer. He's working with different people all the time. He's got a great story. Steve Lehman. We talked about him earlier. Real estate developer, broker. He's on all these different boards. Board of Zoning Appeal. He's on the Port Authority board. Great guy to have on your side. Again, Jared Lane. He's zoning official. He'd be a great one to pick his brain about being on the other side, So let's not forget about my wife. Let's have her on because she's an entrepreneur, business owner. We own Premier Health together. I'm more the money guy, and she runs the whole thing. She's built a great company, great culture, and really doing doing well with that. We have 125 patients. We're trying to grow to 200 this year. So we just hired a full-time marketer. That's going great. Another one or two from the same place, but one's retired. Tim Heath, and then who we took his place, Dan Hunt, both loan officers for Park National. We worked with both of them. They've done a lot of loans and going to do a lot of business with them moving forward. As McKenzie. Brandon Hess has a great story. He's a great dude. He means well. He really tries to do well for Licking County and just give back. He's in all kinds of things.
Great family, the Hess family.
Great family. We love the Hesses, and we had a great time pre-gaming. Shout out. And last but not least, my brother from another mother, Ralph. Ralph's going to come on when he comes in town for the Michigan game. This year we're going to whap that ass.
He is the CEO of Cemex in the Dubai branch. Pretty sick.
It's pretty sick.
Lives there. He got some good benefits.
Yep. He is running the whole show in Dubai. So he is the CEO in Dubai, doing big things over there. And we talked about this before.
Shout out Godfather.
Yep. Shout out Godfather and the fam. Angela, Zavi, and Axelito. Crazy little guys there. But yeah, anyway, he's killing it over there. And like we talked about in college, we didn't exactly try as hard as we should have, but we knew when it came to start making money, we're going to take over. So that's what we're trying to do now. And yeah, we're going to have this story on here coming up here when he comes in town for the Michigan game. So a lot of positive things coming up. Looking forward to it. We're going to have to talk about ground up construction next episode because there's just so much to talk about once we get these, once we sit down on these. But yeah, the next guest, we're not sure who it's going to be, but I think the next episode we will have a guest or two, and then that will be a surprise. We'll have to surprise you with that, and things are looking up and up. Licking County's looking strong. All these projects are looking good, and personal brands are getting built, and you guys are going to witness it and be a part of it. So the future groups that we're going to build, we'd love to have you, and you guys can learn a lot, and we can learn a lot together, and we can learn some from you, and it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well try to network and learn. If you're learning every day, you're getting better as a person, and
you learn something new every day.
Knowledge is power.
Learn something new every day. So let's learn together and let's go take over. All right. So we'll see you on the next episode, and we'll holla at you.